Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video and welcome back to the GT3. Today, we're going to talk about the monthly payments for my 2019 Porsche 911 GT3 991.2. Now there are two factors I think you'll need to consider when trying to figure out what the monthly payment is on a car that you're looking to purchase. For me, the number one thing was the price I would have to pay for the car. Now for my GT3, I paid $157,000. I got an allocation from Porsche, I spec'd the car, ordered it, and it was delivered 4 months later. Again, total all-in price was $157,000. The next factor you need to consider is how much money you want to put down. In my situation, I decided I would put $58,000 down. Now, I'll talk a little bit about how I made that $58,000 in order to put down on the GT3 a little later in the video. So the two factors I think you'll need to consider is how much you're going to pay and how much you want to put down. Now, since I put $58,000 down, then I went out and I wanted to find financing for the other $99,000. And in my past history, I've done very well with credit unions as it relates to car loans. So I went out and found a local credit union who would give me a loan for the $99,000. The interest rate I received from the credit union was 3.5% fixed for 6 years. Now, I know some of you wouldn't want to finance, you would just pay cash. But in my situation, I didn't want to pay cash because that $99,000, I can keep it in the market working for me. And if you guys have seen some of my other videos, you'll know I've talked about additional ways of making income. The three ways I've talked about on prior videos are real estate investing, stock market investing, and luxury watch sales. I'll link some videos in the description below that you can go check out if you're interested in those three additional streams of income I just mentioned. But that's how I made the $58,000. So back to the financing. So my local credit union gave me a loan for 3.5% for 6 years. So my monthly payment is $1,535 per month. That's right guys, that's the monthly payment to own a 2019 Porsche 911 GT3 with putting $58,000 down. Now the reason I choose not to pay cash is that same $99,000, but I'll round it off to $100,000 just to make the math simple. I can take that $100,000 and, like I said, put it to work for me in those three additional streams of income I talked about earlier. And I can, in my history and in my past, I can count on making at least 10% return on that money through those three streams of income. Now, if I make $10,000, which is a 10% return, and I'm paying $3,500 on the 100 grand to the credit union, net, I'll make about $6,500 a year by not paying cash totally for the GT3, but financing a part of it and then putting a down payment on the other part. So for me, $6,500, net, I'll take that $6,500 and I will make my $1,535 a month payment out of that net proceeds from my investment income minusing out the interest I gotta pay on the $99,000 loan. So that's how I pay for the supercars that I buy. That's the way I'm paying for the GT3, and that's the way I pay for my Ferrari 458. Now, let's talk a little bit about those 3 streams of income I talked about, how I generated that $58,000. Again, this is not for everybody. I know some folks don't believe in financing automobiles. They believe in paying cash for them, or if you can't pay cash, you can't afford them. I don't believe that, but if someone else believes that, hey, that's your right. One of the reasons why I don't pay cash for these cars is because they're depreciating assets. And I prefer to borrow someone else's money if I'm going to purchase a depreciating asset. So I go and borrow money from the credit union or a bank, and then I take my money and keep it working for me and earning additional income. So that's really the main reason why I don't buy cars or luxury vehicles or any item that's going to depreciate in value of any significant amount. I don't buy it in cash. I always go out and find low interest rate financing, and then I offset that interest expense with the earnings from that money that I actually matched up. For instance, if I borrow 100 from the credit union, I take that 100 that I would have had to pay cash, and then I put it to work. So I hope that explains how I arrived at the $1,535 a month payment for my GT3. It's a great car. I'm enjoying it. I'm not really worried about the depreciation or anything like that, because I know I have a system in place that's generating money for me all the time that I can use to pay my monthly payment, and I can use to offset the interest charge that the credit union is going to charge me. If that was helpful, guys, I would ask you to drop me some comments, let me know it was helpful. If you disagree with my method of financing cars, put them down in the comments and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions, guys. You know, this is a channel that I created so that I could share my experience owning these supercars, but also I want to be able to share with you guys how I actually make this money. I mean, it does me no satisfaction if I'm only showing you cars, but I don't kind of tell you guys how I got the car, how I could afford the car. So I want to also share some of that through these videos. Now, you know, most of the videos are going to be about cars, but every now and then I'm going to throw some information in there to help you guys along the way, so that if you're out there saying, hey, how do I go out and buy this type of car, then you can have some ideas through additional streams of income that I'm using that may work for you. They may not work for you, but they may work for you. So please check out those. I'm gonna put 3 links to videos I've made talking about these additional streams of income. I'm gonna put those in the description below. Go click on those videos, check them out. And if you got any questions, drop me some comments. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. And again, guys, this is just one way to purchase a GT3. Obviously, there are people who can pay cash who got that kind of money, and they don't really care about dropping $157,000 in cash down on a car. They can do that. Some people won't put any money down. They'll just finance the whole 157. You can do that too. Some people won't even do a loan. They'll just lease the car for a couple of years or however long they want to lease it, and then give it back to whoever the leasing company is. So there are many ways you can purchase these cars and finance these cars, but the way I do it works for me, and it keeps me at a point where I don't have to worry about taking money out of my rainy day fund or my savings account and deplenish it by purchasing these kind of cars. So guys, thank you for taking some time today and check out this video. If it was informative and you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing, and guys, share the video. And one more time, $1,535 a month is how much I pay on a monthly basis for my 2019 Porsche 911 GT3 991.2. All right, guys, peace.